Last night you spent the night together, so good luck for both of you.
Dude, Jen, shut up, dude,
That's your
please.
woman. No. Be nice to her.
That. Did you and Rob have sex?
I'm not gonna be doing all of these. Everybody here.
It's clear that she's still willing to lie to me, hasn't shown any improvement, so that's relationship ending.
Oh.
I'm not gonna deal with that anymore.
Somehow, against all odds, Jen and Cole have made it to this tell-all as a couple, but everything is now about to unravel. Now, before we get to everyone's reaction to learning that Jen and Rob did in fact have sex, let's kick off proceedings by joining them where we left them last week, with Jen angrily confronting Cole after discovering that he and Elise spent time together alone last night in her hotel room.
And if he feels uncomfortable to be in her room when he knows that I don't trust her, then I don't trust him neither.
You didn't tell her?
I told her.
No, he didn't tell me.
Now, Cole doesn't actually think that he's done anything wrong. In fact, he told her that he was going to see Elise. But this is where a massive issue comes into play. Like, whatever way you look at it, there is a big difference between seeing someone, like in a public space, or being alone with them behind closed doors without cameras present in a hotel room. I mean, even though Elise and Cole are adamant that they're just friends, you can understand where Jen is coming from, right? I don't think she's being completely unreasonable for not liking this.
To be fair, Elise, you did say Carla was your friend. And then you
I would never get in this mess.
Yeah, exactly. Elise does have a track record. I mean, putting it diplomatically, her friendship in the past has turned to romance in the blink of an eye. Whatever way you look at it, a lot of women would have a problem with this situation. And Jen isn't like most women. She's way more dramatic and jealous than most. Like, Cole must have known that by putting himself in that position, he was looking for trouble. He was looking for it, and he found it.
Last night you spent the night together, so good luck for both of you.
Dude, Jen, shut up, dude,
That's your
please.
woman. No. Be nice to her.
That.
Look, Cole might now have found a backbone, right? He might now be done with allowing Jen to walk all over him. But by the looks of things, he's now gone in the complete opposite direction. It's like he's gone from one extreme to the other. He's gone from letting her walk all over him to now almost overcompensating, almost trying to prove a point by being rude and disrespectful towards her. Like, he's acting here not as someone who's in a relationship with her, but rather someone who doesn't really like her that much.
Everyone here is calling your girlfriend you bitch. You're like, ha. Actually, yeah, you're a bitch too. Either you want to be with her or you don't.
I don't know how she expects me to sit here and support her when she acts like this.
Cole's response to this is to say that he'll defend Jen when she deserves being defended, but he doesn't have to agree with everything that she says. Now, he might be trying to present this as him just standing up for himself, but Jen thinks that he's being disrespectful, and in fact, she gets support from a completely unexpected source.
If she was going to go hang out with a good-looking guy and you asked her not to, and she still did it, would you be upset?
I absolutely would be upset, yes.
Okay.
You just know things are messed up when it's left to Tim, of all people, to defend Jen. Now, perhaps it's this, the unexpected nature of this, that finally makes Cole see sense. He finally seems to get what the problem is, and he actually apologises to Jen for what happened last night, for spending time alone in Elise's room. But his apology might just be too little too late.
Yeah, I love him. I'm in love with him. But it's just, I'm not happy with him. I'm not just mad about what happened last night. I'm mad about the attitude that he has here and say that I don't deserve to be defended.
Cole and I have been together for 7 months, Jen says. Surely I deserve to be defended after all that time. But since Cole clearly doesn't think so, she doesn't think that he deserves her. Like, she's now not sure what their future holds, if they even have a future. Now, of course, not everyone agrees with this. In fact, during a short break, Tiffany warns Cole that Jen is just trying to manipulate him.
That bitch. Actually, that bitch. Seriously, that bitch.
Now, when we join them back on set, we move away from Jen and Cole, and the focus instead turns to Rob. Tell us, Rob, how's your love life been going since the show ended? He gets asked.
The last couple girls that I've started to talk to, they see it like if I really like them, then I would be like over there all day, every day. I'd be ready to move in if they would let me. Like,
but I don't want to meet someone and then quickly move in with them, he goes on to say. He's now come to the conclusion, a good conclusion you've got to say, that he needs to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to his next relationship. Now, he does again admit in this tell-all, as was the case in the last tell-all he was on, that he and Sophie were for a while at least hooking up again. But, he says, we've now both decided to completely break things off.
We were married. There's a hard to process connection that we're both, trying to work through, but we are definitely moved on.
Sophie did call me often when I was in Mexico. She was jealous that I was dating other people, he says. But I had to remind her that since our marriage is over, that's what's gonna happen. I will be dating new people. Plus, she's moved on too. And it turns out, Sophie might have moved on with quite a familiar face.
She's actually talking to Chantel's ex.
Wow.
You talking to Pedro?
That's what I've heard.
Seems random.
What is it with 90-Day cast members who keep dating other cast members? Like, out of 8 billion people in the world, are you really telling me that the best they can find is other people from the same show? Now, for what it's worth, Chantel doesn't care. She hasn't spoken to or seen Pedro in years. Like, she hasn't got any tea to spill here. But it does have to be pointed out that Pedro himself has denied these rumours, so I'm not sure where that actually leaves them. Either way, whether Sophie and Pedro are indeed a thing or they're not, going back to matters at hand, getting back to this show, Rob and Elise, of course, got very close to each other on their first night at the resort. But was there any more to that? Well, Elise is convinced that Rob, even today, still wants to sleep with her. But Rob denies this.
Did I actually text you anything about us having
we
sex?
talked on the phone,
Yeah.
and you tried to get me to go to your room.
To come hang out, yeah. The words never came out of my mouth, anything having to do with sex.
Now, I don't think we're ever going to find out for sure who's right here. But what we do know is Rob told Elise that they should slow down, but he did invite her to hang out, and we all know how that ended with Jen. So, do I think that he'd have turned Elise down if he'd had a shot? No, I don't. I doubt it. But in the end, all they did was actually make out.
Just to make out with somebody, I don't think that makes me a boy.
No, he's beautiful. He's sweet.
Jennifer, did you say Rob was beautiful?
Isn't it interesting that even now, Jen still speaks about Rob in that soft and dreamy voice that I've never heard her use when talking about Cole? Why do I get the feeling that that love triangle isn't completely over? Now, Jen does try and backtrack. She does go on to say that she's talking about his personality. People don't see how sweet he is, she says. But you've got to imagine that hearing Jen, his girlfriend, talk about the guy that he hates like this isn't exactly going to make Cole feel any more sure about her. So, on that topic, why exactly did Cole hate Rob so much?
I was just pissed off. It was 3 weeks. I'm trying to put myself out there. I genuinely felt real feelings for Jen. I'm not getting the dates that I want. You are. So obviously it makes me feel some type of way about it.
But that isn't exactly completely true, is it? Let's not forget, Rob only got a date with Jen at the very end of the retreat, and soon after that, she went running back to Cole. If anything, his anger should have been directed towards Jen. She was the one playing games with them. She was the one deliberately pitting Cole against Rob. Sorry, but it's not exactly Rob's fault for wanting to get to know her if she was open to it. But this opens the door nicely for one of the biggest remaining cast questions. What really happened between Jen and Rob? They all want to know.
Did you and Rob have sex?
I'm not gonna be doing all of these. Everybody here.
When put on the spot, Jen suddenly isn't in the mood to talk anymore. In a similar way to how she responded when Tim exposed her for her lies about not taking money from him. Once again, she says she's not gonna do this. She doesn't want to play ball. And this time, she takes it one step further by taking off her mic and storming off. Now, sensing that there's more to this story, given how suspicious this looks, Cole tries phoning her, but considering what's happened between them in this tell-all, Jennifer's in no mood to speak to him either. She ignores his calls. But she does confide in the production crew that she feels judged. In fact, those feelings seem to have pushed her to her limit. Like, she has some kind of meltdown.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't know you must have sex. Hello? We are
Jen, are you okay, my love? This really seems to have tipped her over the edge, doesn't it? Like, what she seems to be missing here is that no one's judging her for sleeping with someone. They're judging her for lying about it. Like, yes, you are being judged, but you're being judged because you lack any form of accountability. The second the spotlight gets shone on your actions, you're scared to face the music. She runs away, and in fact, she doesn't come back. Now, somewhat surprisingly, Cole says that he's happy about that. We've already spoken about this in private, he says, so I prefer that we don't now argue about it in public. But the only problem is, how much exactly have they spoken about in private? Like, has she actually told him? Has she forewarned him about what is about to be shown?
There's been a lot of discussion going on here about whether Rob and Jen had sex. They vehemently deny it to everyone. And now we're gonna give you a chance to see what happened.
Finally, after all this time, the cast get to see what really happened between Rob and Jen. Now, keep in mind, we as the viewers got to see this as it happened, right? But the cast never saw this. Heck, Rob and Jen both repeatedly denied that this happened. So, spare a thought here for poor Cole, who now has to watch his girlfriend of 7 months getting naked with the man he hates. Everyone's shocked. Like, a lot of people suspected that this happened, but actually now seeing the proof has blown their minds.
Damn.
I knew it.
Damn.
Now, while Tiffany seems a little bit too happy to be proven right, everyone else seems more concerned about Cole and how he's feeling right now. Like, you gotta feel sorry for the guy. It must suck seeing that. I mean, it says a lot that even Rob seems to feel bad for putting him through this. But for as much as Cole clearly didn't like seeing this, he doesn't actually seem shocked to find out that Rob and Jen were intimate.
Did she tell you that we had sex?
It was kind of back and forth on that answer, but I was like, Jen, I don't want to find out in this setting. Tell me now so I can prepare myself.
Surprisingly, Jen did in fact admit at that point that she slept with Rob. So at least Cole isn't completely blindsided by this revelation. But it's not over yet. You see, the footage that was just shown, that was pool night. That was the night where Tiffany overheard them. That was the source of all the rumours about Rob and Jen. But Rob then goes on to drop another bombshell. That night, he says, what you've just seen was the first time that we slept together.
How many times did you guys hook up?
I was like 3 times.
Truthfully?
Like 3 times, yeah.
Okay, so that means she's lying to me about 2 of those times.
Wow. So not only were they lying about hooking up, but they also kept on doing it. Now, Rob maintains that they did nothing wrong. He doesn't even mind that Elise got dragged into the rumours. I did what I had to do, he says. I told everyone that I didn't sleep with Elise. It's just that I didn't say who exactly it was that I slept with. It wasn't my business whether or not Jen told Cole, he says. That was for her to do. And while that is true, we're not done yet. You see, Tim now turns around and drops another bombshell.
Did you know that she was in Rob's room the day before she picked, crying to him about not knowing who to pick?
This is just yet one more thing that Cole didn't know about. Jen had told him, reassured him that her mind was made up. But even then, she was lying to him. Even then, she had her doubts. Like, this is brutal for Cole. It's a very hard pill for him to swallow. Now, he does say that he wants to find out more about what happened before he draws any conclusions or makes any decisions that he might live to regret. But the fact remains, she was still lying to him.
You know, I was saying like, well, I like you. And I'm down to actually be with you and move forward. And she was just very conflicted.
And she's still lying to me now.
Now, as Jen's not there, right, she's chosen not to be there, we're unfortunately not going to get the accountability that we've all been craving all season. It's all a little too convenient, isn't it? It's like she knew what was about to happen, so she skillfully engineered a reason, a so-called reason not to be there, not to have to answer tough questions. Now, with all of this in mind, one thing that Cole is now sure about is that the prospect of a K1 visa is now out of the question. But, he says, I may even take it one step further.
It's clear that she's still willing to lie to me, hasn't shown any improvement, so that's relationship ending.
Oh.
I'm not gonna deal with that anymore.
Cole is rethinking everything. He doesn't think that he's going to be able to forgive her for lying to him like this. But what about Rob? We know, it's now crystal clear if there were any doubts beforehand that he's had a lucky break not ending up with Jennifer. But does he regret how he spent his time on the show? Does he, for example, regret not pursuing other potential opportunities while he was in Mexico?
Regrets?
No, really, you had sex 3 times, bro. Like,
Oh my God, Usman, shut up.
Usman's not wrong, but Rob doesn't regret trying to put himself out there. He doesn't regret that he went for Jen and ultimately it didn't work out. But while Rob might not have regrets, the same can't be said for Cole. You see, when filming wraps up, as they all begin to get ready to leave, Cole admits that not only does he now have doubts, he's now not happy.
Where do I go with Jen from here? I'm still trying to figure that out. I felt like a fool today, just trying to maintain some shred of dignity. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's safe to say that when Jen does eventually answer his calls, they're gonna have a lot to talk about. That is, at least if she's willing to talk and face things like an adult, which at the moment, I'm not convinced she is. Now, for what it's worth, Cole isn't the only one to have been left stunned by this tell-all. The lady that he spent alone time with in her hotel room last night, Elise, is also upset by how she's been made to look. Upset by how things were made to look with Rob, but also with Carlo. None of this has painted me in a good light, she complains.
You just switched everything on me and made me feel like a disgusting whore acting like that.
No, you're not a whore. Oh, Elise.
Elise is pretty devastated. Now, she has made some really bad choices, right? I think we can all agree that she hasn't exactly come across in the best light. People will judge her for the way that she acted. But, Tim reminds her, your decisions don't make you a bad person.
Because I know that's not you. You're a good person. So when a man gets to know the real you, they're gonna look past this Elise.
Okay, that was really sweet of you.
Tim does have a sweet side. He does know what to say to calm her down. And let's not forget, these two are set to go on a date shortly. But even now, even before the date, Elise admits that the guy she's looking for isn't really like Tim. She's more after someone like Cole, who'll adore her, who'll worship the ground that she walks on.
I'm looking for a mature man that can, honestly, like a Cole kind of, just like a guy that worships the ground I walk on.
So having name-checked him like that, as the pair leave together, will Jen's fears come true? Will the quote-unquote friendship between Cole and Elise develop into something more? I've got a sneaking suspicion that it might. All I can say is, watch this space.